Hi viewers, welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Osetale. So today's tutorial video is a requested one. A lot of you have asked me to make tutorial on how to do hip and butt padding, and that is what this video is all about. So if you're interested in seeing how I made this skirt with hip pad, please subscribe to the channel, keep on watching, and let's get started. So guys, this is the fabric I'm going to be using to share with you guys how I made the skirt with hip pad, and these are the pads I'm going to be using. I got these pads at the market in the shop where they sell sewing materials, so that's where you're going to get these pads from. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now to start this tutorial. We are going to first draft out the skirt on a pattern paper, and these are the measurements you're going to be needing for the tutorial. So to start this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and rule a line here, which is going to serve as my starting line. So on this line, I'm going to take out 1 inch. Go ahead and take out 1 inch like this and measure to your hip line. So this is my hip line. Then you take it all the way to the full length of the skirt. After you're done doing that, go ahead and connect the dots. So now guys, the next thing you're going to do is to label the waistline, the hip line, and the full length. Now on this waistline, you're going to take your round waist measurement divided by 4. You will add 1 inch for the dart, add extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance. After doing that, come to the hip line, take your hip measurement divided by 4 and add extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Now you're going to come to the full length. You're going to minus 6 from your round hip measurement. So my round hip measurement is 40, minus 6 I have 34, so I'm going to take 34 divided by 4 on this full length, and I will add the sewing allowance. Then go ahead and connect these dots. So guys, after doing that, now you're going to come to the waistline here. You're going to be coming down by ½ inch. So just mark ½ inch down, then use your straight ruler to connect it just like this. Now guys, I'm going to go ahead and just roll out this line, so to demarcate the actual length from the sewing allowance. So now come to this down part and add 1 inch, which is going to be for the sewing allowance. Just go ahead and connect it like this. So guys, after doing this, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is the front piece. I'm going to label it the front. Now I'm going to use this front piece to trace out the back. This was what I had after I was done doing that, so I'm just going to explain what I have here. So what I did is I added the zipper allowance, and I also replaced the 1 inch that we cut out of the waistline of the front. So that's the only difference between the front and the back pattern paper. So I'm just going to label this the back. So guys, this is it. This is what you're going to have. Now I'm going to use these pattern papers to cut on my fabric for this tutorial. This was what I had after I was done using the pattern paper to cut on fabric. I also went ahead to cut the same thing for the lining pieces. So this is what you're going to have. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead now and remove the pattern papers. So there's something I want to show you. When I was cutting the back piece, I added ½ inch. I added ½ inch to the hip side of the actual fabric of the back piece. I didn't add it to the lining, I only added it to the actual fabric. This is because of the pad that we are going to be adding to our skirt, so it's going to be bigger than your hip measurements. You can see my pad is ½ inch, so by the time this ½ inch is added to the actual fabric, it will be bigger. So that was why I added ½ inch to it. So this is it. So now I'm going to go ahead and chalk the wrong face of my fabric so that I won't miss it when I'm sewing. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to remove all the lining pieces. We are going to start working on the actual fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out the darts on the front piece. So just go ahead and mark your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch. Then you come down by 5 inches. Now go ahead and take ½ inch on both sides. Then you connect the dart. Just rule a straight line and connect the dart just like this. After you're done doing that, you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Just connect the dart. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I will sew the dart. then I will do the same thing to the back pieces. So guys, this is what I had after I was done sewing the darts. As you can see, I also do the same thing to the back pieces. Now after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to place the back pieces on the front piece, the right sides facing each other, like the way you see me doing, just like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and join it using the 1-inch sewing allowance that I added. This is what I had after I was done doing that. You can see I also went ahead to iron the seam flat. So this is what I have. This is how it is looking like. Let me just place it together for you guys to see it very well. So guys, this is it. Now the only opening is at the zipper area. Okay, so guys, this is how you're going to have it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the lining pieces and sew it exactly the way I did the actual fabric. This was what I had after I was done doing that. You can see I've sewn the lining pieces exactly how I sewn the actual fabric. Now I'll bring the pads. It's time to work on the pad, the main reason for this tutorial, guys. So just go ahead and notch the middle of your pad like that. Now you're going to place your pattern paper on top of it, making sure that the notch is corresponding with the hip line. Then go ahead and just curve it out like this. So guys, after you're done doing this, you're going to use this now to cover out all the other 3 pieces. So guys, after doing that, now the next step is you're going to take these parts to the sewing machine. You're just going to sew it together. You do the same thing to the other one. This was what I had after I was done joining them together. You can see, so this is how they are supposed to come out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trim the sides. So just place them together like this. I will just trim out all the sharp edge, so just make a curve there just like this. So guys, this is it. This is what you're going to have. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring the lining piece. Just bring the lining piece like this. You're going to measure to your hip length. Make sure to remove the 1 inch for the band, guys. Then measure to your hip length. Now you're going to mark the middle of this pad. Just place it together and mark the middle. Now you're going to place the middle of the pad at the notch that you made and pin it down. So guys, this is it. Now you're going to take this to the sewing machine and sew a straight line. Then you also sew it round it just like this. Don't worry guys, I'm going to be showing you the process of sewing it in my sewing machine. After doing that, you do the same thing to this other side. So guys, this is it. I'm on my sewing machine now, showing you guys step by step on how to actually sew it. You can see the first thing I'm doing is I'm sewing a straight line. I'm sewing it, making sure that I'm sewing it on the place where I joined it. Okay, so guys, this is what you're going to have after doing that. Now I'll sew it round. So when you are sewing round, make sure that you are aligning your fabric very well so that it won't go and be like excess fabric at the back. If you do that, it will short your measurement and it will not fit. It will be smaller than what you need. So just make sure everything you are doing is straight. Okay, you can see how I'm doing it. So just take your time to do this very well. So guys, this is what you're going to have after sewing it. You can see, so see the back, you can see how straight it is. Now place the actual fabric on the lining piece like this, the right sides facing each other. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this down part. So just sew it all the way to the end. After doing that, you're also going to sew the sides just like this. This was what I had after I was done doing that. I flip it to the right side and I ironed it out. So guys, this is how it's going to look. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring this piece. I already ironed hair stay to it, as you can see, and I fold it together and iron it out. So I have 3.5 inch wide and it is very long enough to go through the waist. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew this on the waistline. This is what I had after I was done sewing it on the waistline. I also went ahead to weave it with my overlock machine. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to place this together like this. Just place it together like this, guys. You're going to go ahead and take your round waist measurement divided by 2 and mark it down. Then you're going to measure to your hip length, just like this. On that line, you will take your round hip measurement divided by 2 and mark it down. Then now you're going to go ahead and just join this part here. After taking your measurement, just go ahead and join this part that I marked straight. Then you will go ahead and fix your zip here, just like this. So guys, this is it. This is what I had after I was done fixing the zip and joining. You can see how it is looking like. Our skirt is all ready. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next one.